In these videos, I will go over each problem in an entire math section of a sample SAT test. And the purpose of doing this is to show you that having the right general mindset can make all the difference in the world. So we won't go over any tips or tricks or specific strategies, and instead we'll focus on the rhythm that you should have when taking the SAT. So here are the 4 points that I would like to illustrate. Number 1, when you first read the question, take a moment to take it in. If possible, put yourself into the situation that the problem describes. That will enable you to use your everyday experience and intuition. Take your time to think about the problem first, and don't rush to choose the right answer. Number 2, once you get the first idea for how you might solve the problem, take a moment to evaluate that idea in your head first. That may inform you that your idea will require just too much work. If that's the case, abandon the idea and look for a simpler one. Remember that virtually all problems on the SAT can be solved by a simple insight. Number 3, which is just an extension of number 2. Don't be too quick to start scribbling on a piece of paper. It takes your attention off the problem and wastes time and mental energy, your 2 most valuable resources on the SAT. Make sure to map out the entire strategy for solving the problem first, and only then do the necessary calculations on a piece of paper. I realize that that not be your usual way of doing mathematics, and I don't expect you to change your ways on a dime, but I do hope that you begin to try doing more in your head. It's really the math equivalent of not looking at the ball when you're dribbling in basketball, and not looking at your feet when you're dancing, and not looking at your hands when you're typing. It's really the only way to keep your mind on the task at hand, which is solving the problem. And finally, number 4, which is also related to 2 and 3. Don't be too quick to reach for your calculator. Remember that only a handful of problems on the SAT actually require the use of a calculator. For the rest of the problems, it's just a distraction that will lead you astray. And if a problem truly requires a calculator, make sure to figure out the entire calculation that you're going to do first, and only then go ahead and do it on your calculator. So without any further ado, let me put my money where my mouth is and go over the problems. I chose sample test number 7 released by the College Board, and I chose this test because I'm not familiar with it. So for better or worse, you'll really get to see how I approach these problems. And if I get some of them wrong, so much the better. So let's get started.